Ciao Bellezza! Today I want to teach you how to make pesto. I love pesto. It's one of those quick sauces that you can make after a long day at work or at school, whatever. And you want something healthy, this is the recipe that you want to use. Now I have approximately 2 cups of basil. Basil, which by the way I got out of the garden. Just make sure if you grow your own basil that you need to discard the stem that it comes on, and you could see quickly how I did this because I made sure that you could see where it is that I cut, how I cut it when I'm ready to cut it. And then make sure that you wash them, and then I let them dry for a little bit. They're still a little damp, but you don't want them sopping wet when we start doing the pesto. So you have about 2 cups of this. Then we have about, I would say, 2/3 cups of oil, maybe half a cup of grated cheese, which I mix Pecorino with Parmigiano Reggiano. We have about half a cup of pine nuts, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I have a tablespoon of minced garlic. I have a teaspoon of pepper and half a teaspoon of salt. Now mind you, I know pine nuts now are very expensive. You don't have to just use pine nuts when you're making pesto. This is a traditional recipe right here, but I have in the past, if I haven't had enough basil, I would mix in spinach. Or if I didn't have enough pine nuts, I would mix in some, raw blanched almonds, and the flavor is still delicious. It changes it a little bit, but it's still very, very good. What can you use this for? My goodness, pesto you can put on pasta, you could put on pizza, you could put it on bread for bruschetta, which I'm going to show you some bruschetta later. And basically you can dip it with some meats. Let's say you have some grilled chicken or some steak and you want some dipping sauce. This is perfect for that. You can dip it on anything that you like. You could just dip it in bread. But for today, I'm just going to show you on pasta. So let's begin by putting all these ingredients right here together. Mind you, I normally don't use a recipe. I kind of go and stop because I want to taste it as we go. And so I may not use everything that we have here, but this is a good gauge to begin. I know one thing I definitely will use all of will be the pine nuts, the cheese, the basil, and the garlic, and the pepper. The oil and the lemon and the salt, I'm just going to do slowly as we go to the consistency and the taste that I like. Okay? Let's begin. First thing I'm going to put in is the basil. Like I said, there's approximately about 2 cups, I would say. And so I'm going to put it all the way around. Then the next thing I like to put in my pine nuts. And I'll do that all the way around. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to do a little bit of cheese, just like that. And then I'm going to add the pepper, the garlic. For now, I'm just going to use a little bit of salt just to see, because I'd rather go slowly than to over salt. Now I'm going to add more of the cheese. Put a little bit of the lemon juice. We'll do a little at this time, and if I need more, I'll add more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this. Now I know I haven't put the oil in yet, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lid off and I'm going to put the oil in slowly because I want to see the consistency that it's going to turn into. So let's begin this. Let's start this process. Here we go. Now just by looking at it, I can tell it needs more oil, so why don't we do that? Now what I want to do is I want to taste it to see if it's the right consistency, and to see also if I need to add more salt. Oh my God. It is good, but I do need a little bit more salt, so let's try this. I'm going to try it this time. And yes, I am using a different spoon. I think it's gross when you double dip. I think I put the remainder of the salt in. You know what? I'm going to add the rest of the lemon because I think it could use it. I think the rest of the lemon would be fine. Okay, let's take a look and see how this actually came out. Well, it looks great and it smells fantastic. You see this? Oh, this is beautiful. I just want you to take a look. That looks like wonderful pesto. Now, it may seem like a lot of pesto, and it is for one person, but this is what's really interesting. Nonna, what she used to do to conserve the pesto, she would make a ton of pesto, and she would put them in ice cube trays and then freeze them. And when she was ready to use it, she would just pop as many of the ice cube trays as she thought she needed to make a nice pesto, whether it was for bruschetta, a pizza, or for pasta, and take it out. And that's what she would do. So I made some pasta to go with this. And basically what I'm going to do is put it inside the pan and stir it around, just like this, okay? I like to be generous with my pesto because I want to make sure that every nook and cranny of this pasta is covered in this delicious yumminess. So I'm just putting the pasta in the plate, just like so. Putting a little bit of Parmigiano, and voila. There is your pesto pasta, which is so good. Let's try some, shall we? Because I am dying just to have a taste. This is what I'm talking about. It is so delicious. The flavors just pop. But with the pasta, it just blends in so well. Remember, whenever making pasta, don't forget to salt your pasta and enjoy whatever you put on it. Today is pesto. Buon appetito, Bella. I hope you enjoy as much as I enjoy sharing these with you. I hope you always have these recipes, and I love you. Ciao, Bellezza!